Welcome to day number 12 of 12 Days of Itchy.Y, a series where I go over 12 random games and I tell you about them one day at a time, all the way leading up to Christmas. I think it's fitting to end this year's 12 Days of Itchy.Y with a game that is all about the struggle of being a content creator and some of the lengths that one may, not literally, go to find the purpose in their art form. In this case, you're playing as a guy that is behind on rent, struggling to find an audience with their small cat YouTube video channel, and desperate to find some way to make the money to find himself back at even. The game in question is called Content, and the name is very relevant to the game's narrative. Your character is so desperate to use content as a way to save himself from poverty that he will risk his life to produce videos that will hopefully hit millions of views. It just so happens that an egg of a giant bug must have been left over after a similar instance that happened 3 years ago, causing mass destruction and a giant insect carcass to be left in the middle of a city lake. This initial incident kicks off the narrative and puts the main character on a journey to redeem himself. Content, gameplay-wise, is a very cool little point-and-click adventure game that is filled with item-based puzzles and a simple but effective narrative. The game is very short, taking me only about 40 minutes to finish, but as a free game that you can support for only $1 on Steam, I think that this is exactly what it should have been. The writing is a bit silly, the premise is about as weak as a month-old flytrap, and the puzzles at times are okay at best, but there is such heart and effort put into this little game that I can't help but wholly recommend it if you're a fan of point-and-click puzzle games. Yeah, you can find better ones out there, but Content feels special in some way that I can't really put my finger on. I really enjoyed my time with it. It was just polished enough and well-paced enough that I never really felt lost except for one instance, in which case I wasn't aware that I could pick up this piece of curtain. You're welcome, by the way. I wholeheartedly recommend Content if you're a fan of these kinds of games. But something about the game's premise really helped make me feel for this game emotionally. As a smaller content creator on YouTube, I have found myself in a very similar, albeit not as extreme situation as the main character of this game. I've struggled finding an audience for a while, and now that I'm nearing the end of my 4th year on YouTube, I think that while I still have a ways to go, I'm finally hitting onto something that people are enjoying. I am proud of basically my entire backlog of videos, but finding my groove and my current flow was a long and tedious process that led to a lot of self-loathing and number crunching behind the scenes that really hurt my mental health. I'm not saying I'm over that because it's far away from the truth at all, but now I've had a few videos on my channel do pretty well, I have collaborated with other creators that I love, and I have made new friends in the process, and Content made me reflect back on the dark times that I've had with my channel. It made me really appreciate where I am now. I tried several things this year to garner new viewers, and most of them ended up not working, but what did work was just high quality videos with a lot of thought and effort put into them. And I think that is just what I have to keep doing going forward. And I think because of all of that, this simple, short story of Content really resonated with me, even if the main through line was just about giant bugs killing people. And that was this year's 12 Days of Itchy.Y. I want to quickly just say thank you if you watched even just this one, but especially if you watched all 12 little videos that I produced this December. These are pretty quick, they're pretty easy to make, but they do require a lot of effort on, persistence. So I really do thank you if you watched all of them. I hope you found a game in here that you want to play or want to look into. I also really want to quickly just give an update on what is happening, because normally at the end of 12 Days of Itchy.Y, on Christmas Day, I upload a big mainline fully scripted video, but I currently can't with my new job, and as at the same time doing each one of these little videos, I just couldn't have found the time, especially with the Silent Hill 2 video last month taking 2 months to make. I just couldn't do it. I apologize. I just couldn't find the time. I hope you understand. But going forward, just know that January is always a month I take off for myself, where I just catch up on some games, get some new games, play a lot, don't have to worry about content creation. It's well earned, I think, coming up. So that was this year's 12 Days of Itchy.Y. That was the year 2024 on my channel. Thank you again so much if you watched anything this year that I've made. means a lot. Hopefully next year will be better. Love your face, I love your show. See you soon.